Good day everyone, we are the Group A. Our topic for today is global migration and labor export. The guided question that we will discuss for today is what is all about, what is the purpose and significance, what is the issue, what is the impact of the people, and what is the important things to know. So first, what is global migration and labor export? Global migration and labor export is a situation in which people go to live in foreign countries, especially in order to find work. Most global migration is from developing countries to developed ones, and it is the operation of exporting labor comprises both public and private sector. So yun nga, yung for example is the strongly quantity preferring genotype may emerge in a population during the period of economic growth, which creates opportunities for global migration. Kasi people have migrated. Communities across the world have been formed through this process. Even to this day, people migrate now more than ever before. Sometimes people choose to move for anything from employment to better weather. In some cases, however, migration is involuntary. Whatever the reason, migration can bear a big impact on people's lives. Kasi nga, the another term for global migration is international migration. This type of migration occurs when people across state boundaries and stay in host state for a certain amount of time. People migrate across the globe, either voluntary or involuntary nga. Kasi with the latter of movement is not of their person's own will, where people may be forced to migrate from conflict or natural disaster. Yun nga, yung sa migration, migrants. Yung migrant, it is a person who is moving from one place to another, or someone may be considered a migrant regardless of a person legal status. Meron kasing three types of migrants: the asylum seeker, refugee, and economic migrant. Kasi the operation of exporting labor comprises both public and private sectors. Migrant workers can receive a set of comprehensive services throughout the stage of migration, from recruitment and pre-departure, orientation, or return and remigration. So, the global migration and labor export is one of the effects of globalization in the migration of labor forces, something we started to see many decades ago, diba? This migration occurs when people from one country or area move to another in pursuit of work and new opportunities. In recent history, this has become problematic for many countries. Kasi nga, immigrant workers can have a pronounced effect on labor markets within a region or a country. Kasi many times these workers are willing to work for less than the general population of an area. This leaves them vulnerable for exploitation, as many of the workers may have immigrated illegally and will seek employment with the individuals or companies that may not follow all employment laws. Then another aspect of migration and labor condition is one use of migrant workers. Or migrant workers are workers who travel from area to area and take on different jobs based on season in the agriculture sector. These individuals often have to work in extreme conditions and under severe time constraints within a specific time frame to be profitable. As a result, this is of seasonal worker often results in worker exploitation. So, global migration labor export purpose and significance is 1. Migration raises for GDP, in particular by raising productivity. Average per capita incomes of natives increase as their skill are complemented with those of migrants. Kasi yun nga, remittance from abroad lift income per capita in the origin countries. helping to offset the potentially negative effect of the immigration. Kasi this study does not consider all aspects of migration, in particular its distributional effect. Native workers in recipient countries whose skills are complementary to those of immigrants can be affected to gain from the arrival of immigrants, while native workers with similar skill may face stiffer competition with the labor market. Increased migration is one of the most visible and significant aspects of globalization and employment opportunities and bright in foreign exchange. Ayun nga, growing numbers of people move within countries and across borders. Kasi looking for better employment opportunities and better lifestyle. Although migration is usually seen as problematic, it contributes to sustainable development of a country.
Global migration and labor export push factors from homeland unemployment. The term unemployment refers to a situation where a person actively searches for employment but is unable to find work. Social unrest rebellion. Social unrest is a form of public engagement that is destructive to the public order. Political crisis, poverty, minimum wage, poor living conditions, corruption in the government, lack of employment opportunities, social mobility, the ability to move from a lower to a higher level of education or occupational status, or from a lower to higher social class or income group. Government policies. A rule or principle that hopefully better guides decision, resulting in positive outcome that enhance the community or unit. Full factors to the destination counter. The better working conditions. You have the right to a safe and healthy workplace, which is suitable for the who work in a discipline. High standard of living. Standard of living refers to the level of wealth, comfort, materials, good and necessity available to a certain socio-economic class or geographic area. Attractive compensation package. More employment opportunities. Global migration. Example of global migration, we have to join family, move to escape conflict, pursue creation, to study, terrorism. Some people move in search of work, of economic opportunities, and human rights violations.
Migrants. It refers to someone who moves to other place in search of work or better living conditions. Number 1, migrant workers in precarious conditions with little wage and no access to government. Number 2, poor and unsafe looking and living conditions make them prone to diseases. Migrant helps in improving the quality of life of people. It helps to improve social life of people as they learn about new culture, customs, and language, which helps improve brotherhood among people. Migrant of skills workers leads to a greater economic growth of the region. Migrante po, magamat walang formal na legal po na kahulugan ng isang international na migrante. Yun nga, karamihan ay sumasang-ayon po na ang isang global migrant ay isang taong nagbabago ng kanyang bansang karaniwang tinitirhan. Ano man po ang dahilan ng paglipat o legal ng katayuan.
Global migration or labor export. It has become a major factor of regional economic development strategy in several countries. Demographic change determines how people move and migrate. A growing and shrinking, aging or youthful population has an impact on economic growth and employment opportunities in the countries or origin or migration policies in the destination countries. Global migration. Ibig sabihin po nito, ang global migration po ay nakatutulong sa tao pati na din po sa mundo in a way na nababawasan ang populasyon ng isang lugar o bansa.
This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.